My third hint is going to be get a transit. I'm worried sometimes when I talk about transits to people that they either don't understand what a transit is or they just get out in the water and forget to use it. But it's something you really need to use because it's going to help you get a distance back from the line. If you're offshore and there's no references in the background, even when we raced in Adelaide last year, in most starts I could get a reference on the shoreline somewhere. But if that's not the case, it's another good reason to have a compass in your boat, because a compass can also help you pick where the line is. That's a little bit complicated for now, so we'll stick with the simple one. If I've got the committee vessel sitting here with its little starting flag post in whatever positions it's in, I'm going to sail up and I'm going to line up that flag post with the pin end buoy. I'll draw that a different colour, with a pin end buoy somewhere down the line. So if I just look at that from plan view for a second, there's my committee vessel, there's its flag, here's my pin. What I'm going to do is sail up to a position where if I'm looking, I'm seeing that line up with that, which is what I'm seeing up here. As soon as I've got those two objects lined up, I'm now looking way off into the distance to the shoreline. So if the shoreline's up there, I'm going to follow that until I find something. Now in the race that I had yesterday, it was pretty simple. I had a road going straight up the hill, and that was really obvious to spot. Now the problem is, which road is it? Well, on this side of the road I had a red roof, and on this side of the road I had a shiny silvery whitey roof. So I could pick my transit really easily. I need to line those objects up. So in this view, what am I seeing? I'm seeing the road going up the hill. I'm seeing a house here with a shiny silver roof, and I'm seeing a house here with a red roof. And that's my reference point. What's going to happen is, if my eye line is behind the line, which becomes here, I'm going to see, well, I'm going to move myself in a different spot. I'm in the start area somewhere. If I'm behind the line and my eyes are now here, now when I look up, you'll notice that my road is now behind my buoy, which is saying that I am currently behind the line. As I get closer to the gun and my boat starts to accelerate and move forwards, my road is now coming closer in line with my transit. So I'm using it as my reference point to get my bow, when that gun goes, within half a metre to that line while I'm going at full speed. That's my goal. Now the opposite of that is, if I'm over the line, I'm going to know it, because now when I look through my transit's now in front of the buoy, which means I'm in front of the line. It's really simple to do. Now in some cases, you want to get it both ways. So if I'm starting down there to pin, I can see the pin. I might get it back through the boat just as a check. So I'll get it from both ends of the line. But it's something you need to get. It's going to give you the distance you are away from the line. So many times on a start line, and I don't know if Adrian can pull this up, there might be a photo that's been taken in this regatta, because I did a couple of two-thirds down the line starts. You're going to see the start line here, but the fleet's all bunched in this giant sag like that, and all of a sudden you see this one boat that's just way out in front of the bunch in that section of the line, and everyone goes, oh, they must be over. No, that person just must have a really good transit. And in a couple of races this regatta, I found myself in that position with these boats more than 2 boat lengths behind me, and I just didn't understand why they're so far back when I had really good visual on my transit. So it's important to have a good transit because it tells you how close to the line you are. It's really important. And it's a skill you can practice easily at your club. If you've got a starter that's a helpful starter and is happy to work with you a little bit before a race or something like that, when the start line gets set up and you're just waiting for all the boats to come out, if you're the first one out there and he knows you're coming out there, all you've got to do is get a transit and you practice sailing up to the line, stopping your boat just before the line and just put your hand up. And then you can get feedback from the starter on how close to the line you are. Then you can sail around, come back to a different spot, try it again. Then you can sail around, come back to a different spot, try again. And all you're doing is coming up, stopping your boat, putting your hand up, and getting feedback from that person on the boat that's there, hopefully giving you a hand. If you can't do that, practice it on shore. Go to a park, get your skipper to stand there and be a start line, take a transit off him, and you keep walking and walking and walking. Now the one thing I want people to remember, because us Coffs Harbour sailors, we were lucky we got a guest person to come up and do this activity with us the Sunday before we came to this regatta. We were all doing this activity, but the one thing I noticed was some people forgot that their eyes aren't at the bow of their boat. So you just need to take into account that you've got a little bit of distance there. And if you can remember that, it's all right. Another sneaky way to do it is, if you know your flagpole's there on your boat, put your nose of your boat equal with the flagpole, and now look down the line. It's not great, but it works. And so my third here is get a transit and use it. It's really important. The next one.